Hello, my name is Pamela Steele. I'm the mother of the Steel Wizard Tarot and soon to be the Wizard's Pets Tarot for children. But today I'm here to talk about the Tarot Illuminati. It's my latest acquisition and I couldn't be more pleased. It's absolutely gorgeous inside and out. This was created by the artistic genius of Erik C. Dunne and the literary master Kim Huggens. The box itself is a treasure box. That was my first impression when I opened the package, and I still believe that. When you open it, you'll see that no attention to detail has been left out. Inside and out, the graphics are exquisite. It's sturdy, it's high gloss. This is going to last. It's not going to wear out in a big hurry. The book is far from average. It is not your little white book that you normally get with the deck. The front, again, we have the High Priestess. It's also gilded. It's a heavy gloss stock. The back features the prints of cups. This book goes from introduction forward, and I know this because I wrote the forward. It was my honor and privilege to do that. But the table of contents, let me find these real quick. It's got everything you would need had you never ever read tarot before in your life. You'd never had another deck. The table of contents has the forward introduction using the Tarot Illuminati, how to learn tarot, and then it goes through the different cards. It starts with the majors, goes ace through 10, and then on to the courts. Erik has done some very profound changes with this deck, in my opinion. He's changed the knight and page to a prince and princess. He's changed the magician has been renamed the alchemist, and these little details like that, it tells you that he was heavily influenced by the Rider-Waite-Smith protocol, but he's owned it. He's got years experience in tarot, and as an artist it goes beyond. But back to the book. What Kim has done here is she's taken and written for each of the cards. You have the title of the card and then a really brief summary as to, it's like a key phrase for each card. So as you're going through this deck and learning the cards and the symbolism in them, go back and look and see what Kim has written about these rather than call them guidelines or meanings. She's titled them themes and concepts. And keep in mind, as beautiful as this book is and as well written as it is, and she has gone above and beyond, it's only a brief introduction to the actual book that was written due to publishing limitations. Scarabeo, who is the publisher of this fabulous piece, has had to cut the book down. It's been edited. So if you really want to get serious about this, I highly recommend at the back there is a page or few that's titled Tarot Illuminati Revealed, and it's the complete guide to the Tarot Illuminati as an ebook. You can download this onto whatever you're using and go from there. It gives you what the full version of the High Priestess, again, the High Priestess, has been written about here. It's the illumination. I get lost in here. It's just fantastic. But I do recommend that if you're going to get serious about the Tarot Illuminati, and I can't see why anyone wouldn't want to do that, after you go through the book or while you're going through the book, there's a journal available. Highly recommended that you do keep a journal while you're getting to know this deck, and also get the ebook. I haven't downloaded it yet. I plan to do that today. The journal is advertised on one of these little cards that's been added to. There's also a silk bag with the High Priestess on it that you can get for this deck. No detail has been left unattended. Now when you get to the cards, you look here and there's a little ribbon, so you can just tug on that, give it a light pull, and the cards just slide right out of the box. Beautiful. Excellent cardstock, nice, sturdy, gilded. Everything about this is just pure class. The backs have been likened to stained glass windows, but when I first saw them, I saw doorways, and then the images being the keys to open these doors. They're when they were originally done, of course, they're quite a bit larger in real life. Erik's mastery has not undone or missed any details here. It's been carefully thought through with each and every image, and what I love about all of it is that it's from the heart. I believe in the core of who I am that Erik did this deck for himself. He knew as a tarot reader he needed something in order to be a better reader, and approaching it as an artist allows you to create what you need from what you know. And he's done an exceptional job. It's just breathtaking. They're borderless, as you can see. Well, I'll show you the full here. They're borderless, and the colors on the back are some of my personal favorites. It goes from kind of a teal to the gold to the blues, and definitely you feel like you're holding something that is of great value when you pick up this deck. What I did when I first opened it, besides ooh and ah and carry on for quite some time, I pulled 6 cards out at random. I just laid them face down, looked at the different doors, and thought I want that one and that one and that one. And I came up with, oddly enough, I drew the Alchemist. And this is one of the cards that Erik has done something different to, as opposed to naming it the Magician. You'll also see that Lo Scarabeo, who usually in their printing adds different languages across the bottom. They've stuck to strictly English in these, and I think it cut down a lot on the visual distraction, so you can focus on the images. And the title at the bottom has just got a little tiny bit of scroll work on either side. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's really a little difficult. But what I did with each of these cards was I wrote down my impression, my first thought, my first impression as to what the card meant to me. And then I went back through the book and read what Kim had written about them, and was pleasantly surprised to see that they speak that loudly. Well, of course, she wrote it so much better. She's far more poetic than I will ever be, but the idea was there. And with this, it was bringing thought into reality, being able to manifest what your heart desires in this reality. Then the second one that I slid out of the deck was the Hermit, and there again, you've got exquisite coloring, exquisite everything about this deck. It is just epic. What I got from this card was inner light, becoming your own light at the end of the tunnel, seeking inner wisdom. This one, 6 of Cups. Now, when I've seen other renditions of the 6 of Cups, it's generally just 2 people, foreground, one giving a gift to another, and it speaks of that, of being open and generous, and that childlike wonder that we have when we give from the heart. This one went a little bit further. There are 2 children involved here, and they're obviously working from a place of innocence and purity. But what I really liked about it was in the back, you can see here at the very, very back of this image, he's got a figure standing there that is acting almost as a sentinel or a guardian. This is someone who is observing without interfering. He's allowing them their exchange and their experience of this gift. And at the same time, he seems to be kind of remembering his own childhood. There's that sense of give them their space, but watch what happens, and I remember. Very, very well done. I wouldn't have thought of that. That's brilliant. The Nine of Pentacles was another one that really got me, because other than the standard, what I usually see in the Nine of Pentacles about patience and the love of producing, the ability to grow, the ability to harvest, I also saw, and this really got me, was a genuine love of the earth. Genuine. Wands, Six of Wands. He's done it again. In this card, besides just the adulation from the masses, I felt very strongly that this man on the horse was not above stepping down, getting alongside the very people that are honoring him and giving his all to the project or whatever it is. So his leadership is by example, as opposed to just being, follow me, I'll get you there. Swords. I pull the Princess of Swords, and as I mentioned earlier, he's gone from pages and knights to princesses and princes. And if you look closely at this lovely face here, can you see that, or is it going to fade out? Bugger. This is the author herself. This is Kim Huggens. What Erik also has done with this deck is he has created a world of his very own. It's unique, it's exclusive, and it's very, very distinct. The swords are being represented by what I would think, well, I think I read this too. I guessed, the Elizabethan era of England. So you have the costuming, the backgrounds, the traditions, the symbolism that relate to that era. Persia. The wands are portrayed by the Persian Empire, and when you see this, I could almost smell the spices, feel the heat, the essence of the Silk Road and that mythology woven into these images. And seriously, when they reduced down, you kind of wondered if they were going to lose some of the impact, and they did not at all. Cups are portrayed by a fantasy race. This race of people struck me as quite elven in nature. As I'm going through the cards, I had to draw these face down because I couldn't pick some cards to go from that really would say what I needed them to say. It was too hard. There's too many exceptional, well, they're all exceptional. And the pentacles themselves are Asian. So you have the silken brocades, the majestic temples. He's done an incredible job. I think in the majors what he did was kind of blended a little bit of all of the authenticity with enough authenticity to create a deck that if you don't want it, there's really something seriously wrong with you. I will treasure this forever. My collection itself is small, it's exclusive, and it's been going on for over 34 years. I will never part with this one. This is exceptional, and not just because Erik himself wrote on the box this little dedication that kind of made my eyes water, but because it's truly one of the decks that I believe is going to span not just generations and ages, but I also believe that whether you're a master tarot reader or an absolute beginner, this is one of the decks that you will be able to pick up and read with, literally read with. I haven't read with a single deck. As much as I love and admire so many of them, I haven't read with a different deck other than the Steel Wizard since 2000, and the very first homemade deck and the glue stick to keep it together happened. This one I will read with. I've consulted other decks, use them as personal guides, meditation, oracles, but to actually sit down and do a reading, I just haven't done it. It was like there was something missing that I couldn't quite put my finger on, but Erik has owned this tarot protocol. He's made it sing, and every single image in this deck is done from the heart. So if you're planning on investing, I strongly recommend that this be your next investment. The Tarot Illuminati by Erik C. Dunne. And he's got a Facebook group. He's got web pages. Scarabeo really stepped up their game when they created this. Kim Huggens outdid herself on the literary end of it. Please, take time, get to know this deck. You will never regret it. Thank you very much.